All right.
All right. So I wrote a few things down. I was thinking that we could mainly look at this game,
Okay.
um, which you'd kind of think was like a stomp if you just saw the outcome, but it really didn't feel like it kind
Mhm.
of most of the way.
Okay. So I'll paste it. Real quick, you're playing Naga.
Oh yeah.
Got okay. Uh, well, it's kind of a tough Naga game. Just looking at it from the start, they have a lot of heroes that can like just find you and kill you, which is an issue because
Mm,
dying is bad.
it's
Uh,
true.
yeah. Uh, it is pretty weird though because like the enemy team all has like extremely negative scores. Um, did they just like backdoor and push and end the game or something, or like rat you?
Um, well, that's what the Nature's Prophet was trying to do the entire game, but
Okay.
like from what I remember, we just kind of let the alchemist farm, and we realized like 30 minutes in or so, like, oh shit, like this is
Uh,
actually going to be pretty hard to recover from, and we had to do kind of like a lot of split pushing, a lot of just sort of um, I don't know,
mhm.
it's mainly just their alchemists that was the problem,
Okay. Well, I'm gonna download it and share my screen really quick.
right?
Sorry about my dogs. I can't really stop them from barking, but
It's
yeah.
okay. I have two dogs also.
All right.
I
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah. You understand. All right. Very good. So yeah. Okay. So typically like I don't recommend lower MMR players play Naga like below like 5K or so. She just has
Oh,
like
below 5K.
yeah.
Wow.
Well, she just has like a lot of things that you need to worry about that like I mean, getting better at those specific Naga things will make you a better Dota player, but like there are things that don't matter nearly as much as just like fundamental skills, like last hitting positioning, knowing how to use your abilities, spellcasting, stuff like that. Like for example, Naga, you need to really focus on like creep wave management, knowing the illusion
Okay.
timings, like how long it takes for your illusions to go from mid to top, for example, to cut off a creep wave.
Oh,
And just stuff like that that doesn't matter nearly as much. Like it's good to know, but that's only applicable if you have the fundamentals down. So
right.
that's what I wanted to start off with right away. But I will still
Okay.
like analyze this for sure
I
and
mean, like
try to give you an idea.
this was one of my first games as Naga, so
Mm,
like for sure you'll see a lot of kind of like misuses of my abilities. Like
yeah.
I
Okay.
have no idea how to use the ultimate.
Mm,
My illusions. Like one question that I wrote down was that most of the builds that I've been looking at, they say like max your illusions, max your riptide. Is that what it's
mm,
called?
yep.
I have no idea how to use the illusions just to do like jungle rotations early on, so
Mm,
it's pretty much just a waste. But
yeah.
like,
Okay.
because until I got my radiance, like there's I just
Yeah.
found no benefit.
I definitely understand. So long story short, the way you use illusions are like when you get high enough level, which I would say is like level three, or level three mirror image, so like level five,
Okay.
or whatever whatever level you have the level three mirror image at. That's when you can start like really doing camps because then they won't take like a million damage from one right click from a creep, and they can actually kill things with Riptide. Um, it's kind of tough though. Usually, like the best thing to do is to take one illusion with yourself and then go do a camp with it, and
Oh,
have the other two in a lane, and that's like generally okay and like you can just last hit with these while you're jungling. That's a pretty efficient way to do it, and you can still
okay.
get advantage from the illusion levels. At least when you have low levels in mirror image, and that's fine. But yeah, it's like there are so many different ways to farm. Like with
Yeah.
Naga, just
Yeah.
like just illusion combinations. Like okay, I can send two illusions to the small camp when I have like level two Riptide, level two mirror image. Then they can kill this if it's like you know whichever creep or whichever creep camp, and that's fine. And then like when I have level four mirror image and level three riptide, I can send it to the hard camp or
Uh,
whatever. Like those aren't exact numbers, but like you get what I'm saying. Like there are so many
yeah.
different like little
Yeah. So
nuances
you
to
just have
Naga like
to.
that.
Yeah.
It really just comes with playing. Like I mean, I think there was a period where RTZ just spammed like 100 Naga games or something like completely fucking ridiculous. Like,
Mm.
and that's probably how he got so good at the hero. But yeah. Okay, so let's talk about starting items. So you went branches, and this is because you go bottle. And I think this is not the greatest. Basically, this is reliant on you getting a bottle number one, which is fine. Like having the bottle regen is great, but the mid also needs to make sure, or the mid can't be a hero that needs courier early on, and that's not something you can rely on in pubs really.
Right.
I can't even think of an example of a mid that wouldn't need courier, like maybe Viper, but even he needs it to an extent. Like he needs boots.
Yeah.
So by doing this, you're gimping your mid right away. So that's a big issue. Getting a bottle is fine, but you need to start with more regen, so you don't have to send one out right away. And you are playing against an Earthshaker, and he's not going to pressure you much, so like you don't need too much regen, but it's still good to have for sure. He actually can pressure you with Fissure, just because you have so little regen in this case.
Yeah.
Like when he goes for Fissure last hits, so that's one thing. Alternatively, I think the best starting build for Naga is Ring of Protection, Stout Shield, and then Tango Salve, or 2 sets of Tangos, either one.
Wait. Oh. Okay. So you can get like a Basilisk.
Yeah, you get Bassi and then build it into an Aquila.
Yeah.
Also, I guess I'll talk about boots after, but yeah. Okay, by Glowing Blade, totally fine. Naga has like abysmal base damage, so this is completely fine. The lane control is bad though. Let's look at this. Oh, wait, one sec. Okay, yeah, I'm recording. Good. Okay, so let's look at the beginning of the wave. Alright, so we walk up into lane. This approach is fine. Blocking is good. Here you need to tank this creep though. Basically, like, this is a very common thing for offlaners to do, is leave this range creep out in front. And this will cause the lane to push. But an easy way to counter this is just by like tanking the range creep, so it stops moving like, you know, out here. And then eventually their creeps will catch up.
I see what you mean.
Yeah, because the range creep will stop. And then these ones will catch up. And then, you know, it'll just be like normal. So that's one way to counter this. I definitely recommend doing that. Okay. And then here it's kind of like hard for you to recover the position of the lane. One thing you could do is last hit this creep and then sacrifice the next one, like sacrifice the CS for the opportunity to pull. So you pull the side camp. It's especially easy since you have a Quelling Blade, so you don't have to waste a Tango and eat this tree. But it is really important that like when you're on a hero like Naga who can't pressure the offlaner that much, that you try to beat them just economically and like through creep waves and like denying them XP in that way.
Right.
So that's pretty important. But it's okay. I mean, you can get away with just like not doing anything and just like CSing. It's not until like way later that it really starts to matter.
Yeah, and then there were Ricky. So like, we all thought that the Ricky was mid, and that the Ricky was just kind of like, I don't know, trolling. I don't know if that's the right word. Like further, he was just kind of like bugging their alchemist the whole time.
Yeah.
And he came down here, so that kind of changed like my whole, I don't know, the way that I was kind of playing things, because it went from like an easy lane to all of a sudden like I'm scared kind of.
Yeah. No, I definitely I get it. I mean, part of the reason you're scared is because you don't have a Stout Shield, and this is a hero that does a lot of right-click damage. That's pretty important, I would say. Also, you have a very limited amount of regen until you get your bottle, but when you get your bottle, obviously it's fixed.
Like a poor man's or something?
Yeah, definitely. Especially since Naga is a hero who jungles a lot. Like, you know, you'll be in the jungle and you'll have your illusions hitting lane. So it's like not only do you get the bonus armor or like damage block from poor man shields, you also get like a little bit of agi, which is damage, attack speed, you know, just under 1 point of armor as well. It's a very high value item.
Okay.
For the slottage. Okay, but either way, you don't die in this lane. It's pretty, I want to say impossible. Well, not impossible, but like if you're playing safely, it's really hard to die. I can see it being an issue if like Ricky smoke bombs you and then you get fissured like perpendicular to where you want to run. That could be really bad, but it's still pretty tough.
Yeah.
Okay. That's okay though. Yeah, they just don't have like a ton of damage basically with their heroes. Ricky does like at level 3, but yeah.
I noticed that I have 6 armor at level 1. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's bonkers. Like it's nuts. That's part of the reason why it's hard for you to die. Especially when you like get a Stout Shield as well, because like the Stout Shield doesn't care about your armor. It's going to block 20 damage no matter what. So it's just more effective when you have like much higher armor. And your HP is not bad as well. Like she's a pretty tanky hero, for sure. Good laning hero. Okay, so you pick up boots. I think this is fine. I actually recommend people go Arcane Boots on carry Naga. Like if you're running her in the safe lane.
Oh yeah, I've seen that, just to turn it into Octarine later.
Yeah. It's like a good alternative to bottle, or if you get bottle as well, it's fine as well. Generally, just like Arcanes and Aquila is fine though. But yeah, you can go Arcane Bottle or whatever, but that's fine too. Yeah. You definitely need an Aquila though, like I think first, because the statage is very important. I'm not sure if we talked about that in our last lesson, but just getting some stats is really important on any carry hero because you want to be able to like fight when you need to, and it also helps you farm and stuff.
Especially on a hero like Naga or like Spectre or something, if you're trying to get a radiance, it just kind of sucks for like the first 20 minutes when you're still farming your radiance and you just have like 4K gold or whatever in your inventory and you pretty much have nothing else.
Yeah. That's why you'll never see a pro player just like go Brown Boots Radiance on like any hero. Maybe Lone Druid, but Lone Druid's like kind of cheating because his bear just has like 3k HP at level 7. But no, you're definitely 100% right about that. It's especially applicable to Radiance heroes. But okay, so laning phase isn't too bad. I do think when you're playing Naga, you need to focus more on creep wave management, like what we were talking about earlier with like the pulling and the initial range creep thing. Especially if you're in a lane where you think you're not safe, that's where it applies even more because like if the lane is farther back, you're much safer. Like just naturally because you're closer to your tower.
Yeah. So
that matters quite a bit. But right around now, when you're getting level 5, is when you can really start to like farm more quickly. Just with Mirror Image and Riptide. You do need a Stout Shield for this, so like the branches are good, but they're not nearly as helpful as a Stout Shield for farming.
Okay. And then I got Net because again, like I wasn't confident enough in my ability to like send out illusions to jungle while I farm lane. So
yeah.
I just thought that was like a better kind of
option. Yeah. I think it's not bad. I mean, like the pro Naga players, like if they get Net, it's usually in a lane where they can kill their opponent, which you guys can kill Ricky, if Witch Doctor has a detection. But in this case, you shouldn't have gotten it. Like it would have been ideal to get another level in Mirror Image. But I understand what you mean for sure, and I think that's fine. It's like it's not even bad to do this like every game, but it's like slightly inefficient in some games where like if you're not going to use it, then obviously like having the skill point is kind of useless. But it really isn't bad to just get this before 6. It's probably going to help you in more situations than it will hurt you. So that's fine. Also, it's not something that you have to really worry about too much. Just like learning the mirror image paths and like other stuff will help. It'll help much more than knowing exact values and everything like that. But yeah, typically, like I said earlier, one of the best things you can do on Naga is just like basically push a wave, then run into the jungle, cast mirror image. Make sure your creeps your illusions aren't gonna die to the creeps, like a centaur stomp or something. Then send 2 to the lane, and 1 just keep with you, and you can just hit creeps with it, and like do a camp. And this is like keeping your hero in the jungle, by the way. Like this is important because like your illusions at this point with level 1 mirror image or even level 2 are not strong enough to take down like full camps by themselves, like even with 3. So if you have your hero with you, like your hero is strong enough to do that, especially with Riptide and other things. So. That's why you send the lane or the illusions to the lane, because you can last it with Riptide with them. You can also like last it the range creep. It's pretty easy. It can be tricky to get melee creeps just because like they're getting focused by more things. But yeah, but that's like a very basic thing you can do to get more farm out of the lane. You can start doing it like right now. Honestly, like you could just be pushing this as hard as you can, and that would be okay. And like right here, you could go to the jungle if you guys don't. If you don't dive this, which it looks like you do.
Yeah, I don't know. This was actually, now that I remember, this was super confusing. So I realized that, like, well, whatever.
No, it's okay. No, you can keep talking. That's cool.
Pretty much the Witch Doctor, like, right when the Witch Doctor popped the smoke, I was like, all right, so that means that the Witch Doctor is committing to this. So then I decided to go in, not wanting the Witch Doctor to, like, get mad at me for just staying there. And I think he kind of like trapped me in the trees almost, and he died himself just to like tower hits. I don't know, like one thing that I've noticed, so I have like 3 Naga games so far, is that whatever you do, you just get so much flame for, because you're not really like the only way that you're helping the team is by like pushing out lanes, by creating space for your allies to do whatever they want.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know, just get a lot of like BM pretty much.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's just part of like any picking any kind of like unconventional hero. Naga's fairly like conventional, but she's not very popular right now, and she's also pretty hard to play compared to like let's say OD or like Lycan or someone. Uh, but yeah, you're definitely right about the flame thing. So yeah, it's okay. Let's look at this dive though. I wouldn't worry about the flame so much. Just try to get better and mute people who flame you. Chances are they're not going to say anything of value anyway. Maybe you'll miss out on something, but you're probably going to be able to like figure that out anyway, so it's okay. Yeah. Okay. So my biggest issue with this is like you didn't read Witch Doctor's like body language. I almost want to say like everything about this guy is telling me like he wants to go in like right from right here. He's like, all right, I just want to kill this guy. Like you could have also checked his inventory to see if he had dust. Really, it's his job to communicate that he has dust, but you can always like gather the information yourself.
Yeah.
So this was a guaranteed kill if you had gone in a little bit sooner. But you kind of have to like read the situation a little bit better in this case. You can kind of tell where Ricky is just based on where he was positioned. So like if you were moved up like literally 1 second sooner, you would have been in range to Riptide here when you maledicted. Also, this going back thing was a bit iffy, but that's okay. So really, the biggest issue here was you didn't read Witch Doctor's like body language. He also didn't communicate at all, which kind of sucks. But you can kind of read the situation on your own. Okay, so
and that was a miscommunication, I guess, because the creeps were blocking him from going out that way, even though I was trying to go out that way too. So
well, it's not a miscommunication; it's a misplay because like you're trying to do the wrong thing here, and like you don't execute properly. So basically, you can chase the Ricky, and that's fine. Like he'll be dusted, but there's no reason for you to run out this way. Like you know that the creeps are here, and you know that he can't get out no matter what if you're like paying attention, and you understand like creep pathing. So the only way for you guys to get out in this situation is to run like a straight out through and hope to God that Ricky doesn't block you. If he just blocks you here, like you're kind of in trouble. I mean, he is dusted, but like yeah. So basically, the biggest thing was just not committing sooner to the kill because it was a guaranteed kill for sure.
Yeah.
And then your pathing should have been going out through this path instead of going out through tower. Because like look at this. Like okay, I can't move my camera for some reason. There we go. Okay, so like when you consider like your pathing from this point and there are creeps here, like even if there are no creeps here, if you're to run out this way, you're guaranteed to take tower shots. Like pretty much no matter what, which you don't want to do. Like you're not going to die to tower shots unless you're like really low, but you still don't want to take extra damage. So it's better to just run out here, eat this tree, and then cut this corner, and then maybe you take one if there are no creeps under tower. So that's just like a general pathing thing. And also you're exiting through a safer location because like you're closer to your tower. Whereas if you exit here, somebody can TP to the tier 2, somebody can go to the tier 1 and then run this way and cut you off here. They can go to the T2, cut you off here. Like there are just so many different things that the enemy team can do. Are they actually going to do it at 2K? Probably not. Like let's be real. But it's just something they could do. So it's better to condition yourself to just run towards the enemy tower or run towards your tower. At least early on. Obviously there are exceptions if there's like 3 heroes just sitting here. Maybe it's better to go out through the back. Like that's fine. But yeah, you get my point. I'm kind of rambling at this point, but I think that was applicable anyway.
Right.
Okay. So at this point, Ricky is down here with Nature's Prophet. This is fine. This is definitely one of those points where you just go to the jungle though. Like Ricky is so pretty low, and he doesn't have the regen anymore, so he's like gonna stay low unless he gets a salve or something like that. So you definitely just go to the jungle, like go to the small camp or something, summon illusions, and then send them out here. Try to get CS with Riptide rather than just last hitting, because like if these guys are paying attention, they're gonna kill the illusions first. So Riptide is a huge burst of damage, and you can get last hits easier with that. So
yeah,
it's something you can do.
The damage isn't like negated if it's from your illusion, right?
Right. Yeah, it does 180 damage, at this level. So it's definitely really good. Also, when there are no heroes in lane, when you Riptide, you want to do it sooner rather than getting last hits guaranteed. At least when you have high levels in Mirror Image and Riptide, because like the armor reduction is very valuable, and it'll make your illusions hit harder. So they have an easier time last hitting, if that makes sense. But yeah. Okay. So that's cool. Now we're just farming. I would like to see you go for an Aquila, like I said earlier, but it's okay. Or it doesn't matter so much. Okay. Okay. So you're just pushing. If you're afraid to use illusions, it's actually not bad to just summon them and, just push away with them. It's not efficient that much, but it does make you push a little faster, and you'll put a little bit of extra pressure on the enemy team, and that's completely fine. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Definitely the best thing to do, though, is the 2-2 kind of split that we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
That's definitely a little better. Also, for skill builds, I'm not actually sure what you go. We can check our replay afterwards, so like to see what RTZ and Loda go. But yeah, I think the best build is actually like 2 or 1 points in Riptide and then maxing Mirror Image first. Like at least if you're not fighting, that's the best one for farming, because then your illusions become like independent.
Yeah, twice as tanky.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. Like they just are able to push faster by themselves without like using a lot of extra mana and stuff, and they can do jungle camps. Okay. Okay, so we're just pushing. Okay, that's fine. Also, as Naga, you should generally have a TP on you. Not only is it good for like defending your team when they're fighting, like you can come in and song and like save the whole team, but also you can get out of like sticky situations. Like, let's say for example,
TP,
yeah, like if you get fissured and then Ricky smokes you, you can just TP out. It's just helpful. Also, like the song TP, like you said, it's really good. Oh, okay, you buy one literally right as I say that. Good. Okay. Okay, you should die here. Okay, he sucks. Oh.
He super sucks.
Okay.
No, and then this was actually super misplay, because I could have just stood there and used Riptide and he would have died, I'm pretty sure. But I TP'd out.
Ooh, it depends. I don't think he is low enough to die. He might die after he kills you, but okay, so he has 200 HP. Oh no, he would have died. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so if you cancel Song on the Riptide, he dies. You kind of have to be careful with the spacing, though. You need to stand like right at the edge so he can't get an attack off. And like maybe stand behind him so he has to turn. Because you die in one hit as well. Yeah, but let's look at this. So basically, like, you're supposed to die in like a vacuum right here. Like, you should just be dead. He hits you, then smoke bombs.
Vacuum, you just mean like if they played it correctly?
Yeah, sorry. Vacuum isn't like the correct term either. It's like if a computer is playing Ricky.
Like ideal scenario.
Yeah. Like if a robot is perfectly programmed to play Ricky, he'll kill you in this situation. Basically, like, he hits you, then smoke bombs in front of you where you're gonna run, then hits you again, then blinks, then hits you again, and you're dead. But he like does some weird shit, and he gives you an opportunity. And this is fine. Like, that's not something you have to worry about. You definitely had an outplay opportunity here. Basically, like, since he already used blink, you should have just kept running here rather than go for the net. The net is fine, but he can always disjoin it with tricks of the trade, which he does sort of. He doesn't really disjoin it, but yeah. Also, you should have Riptide it earlier here, like rather than just running away. Like, you can run away and Riptide at the same time, and then he'll take more damage from tower. He has no way to disjoin any attacks, so yeah. He just would have died here, and he wouldn't have had to use Song.
Oh,
so
and the Riptide would have given him like armor reduction from the tower hits.
Right. So that's why the tower would do more damage. So there were a number of things you could have done here for sure.
Yeah.
Or there's also a weird play you can do where you can run, like, let's say Riptide is down in this situation. You can also run into the trees and then summon illusions, and that will, like, make the illusions block off Ricky, so he can't like chase you through this path. That's another thing you could do. But yeah, that's definitely the play here. Is to just like, if he's gonna chase you like this, just cast Riptide. Like, it doesn't hurt you at all. So yeah, let's move on. Okay, so you get your bottle, by TP. You should still get an Aquila at this point. You are getting pretty close to Relic, so it's not bad, but would help you quite a bit. Okay, so go back to farming. This is fine.
Honestly, like, I thought that I had a pretty easy lane. And one of the guides that I read had said that a good benchmark for Naga, if you have like a relatively easy lane, was 80 CS at 10 minutes, which I'm pretty sure that's like perfect CS.
That's better than perfect. So the cap CS you can get at 10 minutes is 72 from the side lanes, but that guide includes like jungle camps as well. So I agree that's like a pretty good benchmark. If you're having like a perfect lane and you like understand how to use your illusions decently, like not even perfectly, just like okay, like if you were doing the 2-2 split, illusion farming pattern, then that you would be able to do this like pretty easily, as long as you're getting like a lot of CS. I like this actually does speed up your farm so much. Like you'll get probably 30, 40 extra CS out of lane like this. There's actually, now that I'm thinking of it, I'm going to link you to a video that I think would benefit you. One sec. Okay, so this is an Owie 2000 video, and it's like efficient farming. You might have seen it on Reddit or something like that, but it does apply a little bit to Naga. Yeah, it was a morphing one.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna link it anyway.
Those creep pulls though.
Yeah, well that applies to Naga too. Yeah, it applies to Naga too, and it's like pretty easy once you learn the pattern. Basically, you just do that, and you use Riptide rather than Waveform, and you can do that, or you can summon illusions and just hit the creeps, and that's totally fine as well. You can do this solo too. Like it's not. Once you understand the pattern and you know how to do it, it's very easy to do in a real game, especially in a free farm lane like this. So I definitely recommend trying that. Okay. So you ended up going top. Let's see. Okay, so they go on Zeus after this happens. I don't know what Ricky was doing here. Oh, also a small thing. I realize this isn't your mistake, but whenever Ricky is ulting like this, he's invulnerable, so he can't be dusted or like CC'd or anything. So if you ever have to use dust, make sure you don't use it like when he's in this, like what Shocker just did.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, it's a small thing. Okay.
It's pretty much like the puck skill, right? Like he's just off the map.
Yeah, pretty much. Like he just gets sent to another dimension, whatever you want to call it. Off the map is a great way to talk about it. Okay, so you end up TPing somewhere here. Okay, I don't like this. Okay. What was your goal here?
I noticed that the lane was getting like too pushed up for me to farm, so I was like, I'll just go top and like stop this guy's split push and try and get farm here.
Okay. That's not bad thinking, and it's good to defend your towers like this, but if you're a Naga Siren, you're able to jungle. So in this case, you should have waited for the lane to push by jungling. Like if you just go to this hard camp with all of your illusions and Riptide and stuff, you can just do this and then be back in time for the wave.
Yeah.
So it's not bad that you're going to do this, but the issue with this is like, what do you do after? Like, do you just push up and farm the enemy's safe lane when all of their heroes are off the map? Like you're playing against Ricky, Furion, Earthshaker, and even Alchemist to an extent. And there's a PL in lane, he can nuke you a little bit.
Yeah.
It's just like this is a good short-term investment because you defend your tower a little bit and you get some farm, but it's a bad long-term investment of time because like you're not going to be able to go anywhere after this. You just have to leave. Like you have to go do this camp and then run all the way to the jungle, maybe go mid and farm this. That's fine, but you had a free lane here and your team didn't need you to go up here, so it's okay. Yeah. Okay, so this is pretty inefficient, and stuff like this really does matter quite a bit on Naga because she needs to like get her items so quickly.
Ooh, that was a huge echo slam.
Yeah, that's rough. Okay, it looks like you live. Okay, so PL goes on you, then he runs away. You have all these solutions on you. Okay. So big echo. At this point, the correct play is to just net Earthshaker and then go on him. Or alternatively, like you could check PL's mana, see if he has mana for a nuke, and if he does, then you run away. If he doesn't, then you net him. Then he'll be taking tower hits or whatever. Also, if you're like an AK Naga player in this case, you bait PL and you try to get him to chase you, and then when he casts Spirit Lance, like you cast Mirror Image and then you disjoin it. But running away is completely fine.
While do you have to time it so that if the projectile would, how do I put this? So to disjoint with that, do you just cast it while the projectile is in the air, or do you just cast it when like there's that kind of delay and the thing would be hitting you? Like
you kind of have to. You have to take the delay into account. So like you're only invulnerable when like when you actually leave the map and the illusions are summoned. So like if you were to cast it and then cancel it, like you wouldn't have an invulnerability period. Like the spell has to go off. So you have that. So yeah, you have to kind of time it. Sometimes you have to cast before the spells are even cast, and that's tough. But yeah. Also, there's something here. Okay. So speed up. Peel chases us. Illusion's chasing us. We don't really know which one is which, but you can probably know. Then you have vision here, PL TPing, and I don't know why you didn't cast it. It has a really long range. You did try to cast it, but it was a little bit too late. I mean, it's not a big deal, but yeah. Okay, also, you don't have illusions up at this point, and you just cast Riptide. I'm not sure what's up with this. You did it back here as well. Riptide has like a pretty short range. It's, you know, this small circle that you're seeing right now. So you can't just like cast it like this. It does. You do need to make sure that you're hitting it.
Yeah, I don't really know how to cast it.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. It's just something you can, you know, think about in the future.
Yeah.
Okay, this is fine. Here you need to go back to base, 100%. When you go back to base here, though, you should summon illusions. Like, there's no reason for you not to. Like, you're not going to need this spell when you're in Fountain. Yeah. And you're not going to need it when you TP. So if you just summon illusions, maybe you get like 2 or 3 CS out of it. That's like a great investment of mana. Little things like that will really help your carry play for sure. Okay. See, look bottom. Okay, going mid was a great choice. There's nobody in this area, and you have access to like pretty much any side of the map that you want. You can go to the jungle if you feel unsafe. You can go top if you want to push that. That's fine. So this was a good choice. I like this. Again, you should summon illusions here for sure. So before I forget, like, if you're dedicated to playing Naga or whatever, which is fine. I don't recommend it, but it's okay. It's a fine hero to learn on. I want you to just play games and summon illusions like pretty much on cooldown. At least when you get like, let's say level 3 illusions, just start doing that and just start seeing like when you can do it and when you can't. Make sure you're keeping mana for like Song and TP and like maybe net. But if you have a bottle and you have an Aquila and Arcane Boots, then just I want you to just spam cast illusions, and eventually you'll start learning like when, you know, it's effective to do so and when it's just kind of a waste, and then you don't have to worry about like wasting it. Because like when you just run up here and farm this wave without casting illusions, this tells me that you're worried about wasting it or like looking stupid by using them incorrectly or something. I don't know if that's true or not. You could confirm that for me?
I don't know. I think it's just like I don't really know how to use them, so I'm just kind of not wanting to waste mana.
Okay, yeah. So don't worry about that. In the future, I want you to go Arcanes and Aquila, and you can go bottle as well, but those 2 items are fine. And then you won't have to worry about using Mirror Image, and you'll farm faster that way. Right. At least you'll farm faster when you start to learn how to use them. It really is like okay to just use them to push creep waves with you. Like obviously it's better to farm the jungle and creep waves, but it's not bad to just do the basic way. Like when you get more comfortable with the hero, you'll be able to do more fancy stuff. That'll just come with time. Okay. So that's fine. The song was totally fine. I think you were gonna die if you didn't cast it, so that's good. Here, the correct play is cast illusions, send them mid, and try to get Riptide CS, and then go to the jungle. Then go back to base. Okay, nice.
No, this.
Okay.
Just, I had to have that happen to me once as a Naga player.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like this is just such a slap in the face. Like this is Dota telling you suck. It's so rough. Like this. I still get really pissed when this happens to me because like sometimes you just like play PL or Naga or whatever and you're like, oh god, I'm so stupid. All right, this happens to 6K players too, like don't worry. But yeah, so when you're playing against satyrs, hellbears, or centaurs, you gotta keep this in mind. This is why the 2-2 split is so good, is because like you don't have to worry about this and you still get the bonuses from having an illusion with you. Yeah. Okay. So that still makes me laugh every time I see it though. Not so much when it happens to me, but, you know, sort of.
Right.
Yeah. Alright. So you're going back to base. This is fine. You needed some HP. Should not go top here. Yep, good. Okay. Like, basically, when you don't have Song, you are not fighting. Your job is to push, and you're helping your team that way. pretty much in all situations as Naga, so this is fine. Okay, definitely summon illusions here and make them hit the tower when you go for the rune.
Oh.
The extra damage will be nice, and plus you'll be able to get Riptide CS when their creep wave comes in, so that'll be fine. Also, you should go mid at this point. This is fine. It would be more efficient gold-wise to go for the jungle, but you need to pressure. It's just important. You need to pressure mid tower. You know, bottom is already pressured because the wave is pushed up to their tower, so you don't have to worry about that. But mid is the next thing that's open, so you want to do that. And it's also pretty safe for you to do this at this time, so that's good. Okay. Okay, so this illusion rune is so big, actually, if you get it. This helps you farm so much.
I don't know if I do.
Okay, well, that's rough. Well, number one is big because you're denying a Radiance Alchemist an illusion rune, which is really huge. Maybe he doesn't even go for it, but he should. Either way, like, it's just nice for you because you can. That's another like vehicle for your Riptide to like hit stuff through. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like if you have 2 extra illusions, they're just 2 extra illusions that are in a lane Riptiding things and getting UCS. So it's really helpful in Naga.
I knew that this game that like illusions that weren't you know, Naga illusions, like from Mantis Style or an illusion rune, like the Riptide went through those.
Yeah, no, it does. It's excellent. It works with Radiance as well. It's just this is a game-winning rune on Naga. Like if you get this at like 50 minutes when you're 6 slotted, like it's actually just game-winning. It's so crazy. Okay. So, 1 sec. Okay. So just farming, this is fine. You see Ricky top, so no worries there. Definitely buy your relic at this point though. As soon as you get 3,800 golds, like probably before then, you send the courier to the secret shop and buy the relic. Because that's like that's buying a bond. Like that currency is never going to go away. Whereas like maybe you get a hole in your pocket and you lose the 3,800 in cash, which in case would be like you dying or something like that.
Yeah.
Like so definitely always go for the relic as soon as possible. Like waiting 400 gold is like not acceptable really. If you died here, like you'd be so sad. Yeah. Like if you didn't have money for a relic, but yeah. Okay, also definitely push mid here rather than go for this fight. You might get the Ricky kill, might get the PL kill, but yeah, okay. So you do get the Ricky kill, that's fine. I still think going for the mid tower would be more beneficial. Ooh.
I don't know, I casted that.
Okay. So you're probably going for like the deny, but you have no plan B here.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, so rather than explaining what happened here and like explaining why it was bad, I think explaining an alternative thing would be slightly better. So like okay, so you go run here, you get the illusion rune or get the regen rune. This is fine. In this case, you should just go mid and start hitting this tower. You do quite a bit of damage to towers with your illusions and relic.
Yeah.
So rather than going for this fight, which is pretty much already over, like 2 of your heroes are already dead, 1 is very low, you could just get this tower for your team, and that would be like, you know, a mini win for your team. It'd be actually a pretty big win for your team, I think. Like, compared to what is going to happen up here. Nothing good can come out of you going to this lane at this point, because you don't have any damage to, like, kill heroes. So this is definitely a point where you should have been focusing on pushing and farming. Primarily pushing, though. I'm not even sure if you could get mid-tower. You might have been able to if you committed much earlier, but it definitely would have been better than coming up here.
Right.
Okay, so you have 1,000 golds. How much did you get?
That kind of answers like one of my questions, which was just like, how can I benefit my team in the early game when I can pretty much offer nothing but a song in team fights that I kind of want to save for myself anyways.
And this is like part of the problem with Naga is like you are just a song and you're net and you do like a little bit of nuke damage but really not that much. This kind of sucks, but basically the way you help your team is by not helping them at all and just pushing as hard as you can and trying to pressure the same way anti-mage would. Naga can be used to fight, but only if the team is coordinated enough to use a song initiation or like a song counter engage. And that's
did you see that during the Shanghai Major, that like song steal from Jerax?
I did not. Did he play support Naga?
No, he was on Rubik and he stole song from I think Loda.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't see it.
Went mid casted and got a kill on their puck.
Nope, I don't think I saw that.
Crazy. That guy was so good.
Yeah, Jarex is a fucking beast, actually. Like, that guy is so good. I'm kind of sad he lost, but, I mean, him getting second after being on a qualifier team is amazing, so... anyway, yeah, Jarex is super good. Definitely a good player. Okay, so you get a Radiance at 1950. That's not bad. Kind of slow-ish for getting, like, just a Bassi and brown boots in a bottle, but it's really not bad at all. You'll be completely happy with this. This will transition into more farm. So that's good. You could definitely improve your timing though by doing the 2-2 split, like 2 illusions in lane and then one with you in the jungle. But that's okay now that we know that.
Probably honestly just like not scaling net would improve my timing too.
Yeah, no, it definitely would.
Doing the 2-2 split.
And that's why people do that, right? Like that's why you'll see Arteezy and Loda do that in lanes where they can't get kills. But you definitely need to skill net in lanes where like you have the opportunity to get a kill. So like pretty much anytime your support has a stun and you're playing against like Nature's Prophet or Ant or someone. Ooh, or that was rough. Alright. Oh. So I think my biggest problem with this is that you're grouped with your team in a time when you shouldn't be really. It's okay to be grouped here, but you're not supposed to be initiating like this. You should just be like poking with illusions. Like a common thing you'll see out of Naga players is if they had to group with their team and like prevent pushes like this, which is okay. They'll stand way behind the tower, and then one at a time they'll send their Radiance illusions out, and this will like do damage over time and poke them, and it'll do damage to the creeps, and then they'll send another one. This will do more Radiance damage. The key thing is sending them one at a time though, because like if you send them all at once, they can all die at once, and that you're getting the same amount of Radiance damage as you would from one illusion. So yeah, the one at a time thing is the best way to defend towers. So that could have been prevented, this disaster, if you were playing like farther back, or if you were in another lane and pressuring that. Yeah. Okay, so this is rough at this point. The Earthshaker has a really fast blink. You're playing against a Ricky, so smoke screen equals death pretty much. Prophet can always TP in. He is like pretty useless, but he can do some damage. And you're dealing with an alchemist who can farm faster than you, which is scary.
Yeah.
So definitely the best way to win this game is just defending high grounds and like doing the pokey thing with the 1x1 illusions. And just clear as many creep waves as you can. Then when you get like bots Manta, you can start like venturing out and like really pushing waves and doing your best not to die. You still have to be careful of Earthshaker, but you kind of have to do stuff like that later on.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think part of the problem this game is that I kind of underestimated like my split push. And even when I had my like Radiance Manta and stuff, I was pretty much just farming my own jungle instead of like, I don't know, sending out illusions mid lane, farming their jungle, like, pushing side lane and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's really important. Like, when you farm your own jungle, you're not pressuring the enemy team at all. And you seem to understand this based on like what you just said. Like, these creeps are good and they give you gold, and that's great. But the lane creeps are what really matter. Like, Dota is much less about heroes, or less about heroes than it is creeps. Like, I know it sounds stupid, but I really think it's a real thing. Like,
no, I believe that completely.
Yeah.
I remember, like, when my friend was introducing me to Dota, he said, like, one of the biggest mistakes is people spend, like, they waste, minutes at a time going looking for kills, but really just, like, a few CS gives you more gold than... like a rampage. Yeah. Like if you just spend 2 minutes farming, you're gonna get more gold than if you want a team fight or whatever. Yeah. At least on one hero. Yeah, that's true. And also like the positioning of the creeps is what makes like things possible. Like they give vision, they put pressure on towers, they make hitting towers possible that are past tier 2s. Like these creeps are what facilitate all of like the mid-game and late-game movements, with the exception of Roshan, obviously, but even to an extent, they help with Rosh. If you, like, push out all your waves, you're giving your team vision of these lanes, and, like, okay, if the enemies aren't showing here, and I'm doing Rosh, maybe the enemies are coming. That's, kind of like... So the creeps are really what matter. And this is why Naga is so good, is because she, like, controls the creeps. Like, she has power over them. Like, she can push multiple lanes at once, which is crazy. Like, that's so strong. That's also why, like, Ag's Nature's Prophet is very powerful right now. Yeah. Lone Druid is good. Like, all those heroes, for example. Okay, so anyway,
Back to Dota 2. All right. So at this point, okay, yeah, pushing this is totally fine. Should send your illusions into the lane at this point for sure.
Yeah, probably should have sent one
Okay.
mid.
Yeah. In general, it's better to have illusions like in lanes rather than your hero. Simply because like the illusions can do the same thing that your hero can do at this point. Like with Riptide and Radiance, they can push waves just as fast. Like slightly slower, obviously, because they do less damage, but they do the same with Radiance and Riptide, so that's all that matters really. So here you should go to jungle this camp with your main hero, and then send one mid, like you said, and then send one bottom. And then the other one you can like do a jungle camp, or you can just send two bottom or two mid or something. And that's fine too. Yeah. But that's big for sure. Like here, a team that's on top of things and like really focused on crushing you will do so. I mean, that's just like they'll just gank you. They might not be able to tell that this is real. They can tell based on like how much damage you do with right clicks, but unlikely that people are gonna actually like look for that, at least early on anyway. Okay. So I did notice that when you use your illusions like this, the micro is a little slow, and that's fine. Like you don't have to be super fast, but I'm curious to know like what you do as far as like control groups, what your approach to moving your illusions is.
I don't really use. I just kind of press tab for Naga. I just kind of tab and then send them out.
Okay, no, that's fine. What I recommend doing though is like having a key for select all other units. So this one.
Oh yeah, I do have that. I think 2 or something for me.
Okay, yeah, mine is 2 as well. But basically, like this is similar to what pro Naga players will do. Loda doesn't for whatever reason. I think it's a mistake on his part, but either way, I think you should like use 2 and then just send them in the general direction that you want all of your illusions to go. So in this case, when you cast your illusions, you would press 2, select them all, and then just click mid, and that will send all of your illusions in the general direction of mid. And then you can tab through and like send them to individual camps, or like you can send one bottom or whatever. And that won't make a huge difference, but it'll save you some time. And then like over a course of a game, you'll get a few more CS out of it.
Okay, wait. Quick question though, just
yeah, sure.
because I don't really play like micro-intensive heroes. If you have a control, if you press 2 and then you press tab, that would just go to your main hero, right? Like it wouldn't cycle through.
Ooh, does it work that way? I'm actually not sure because I don't use tab. Like I use cloning. So the best way for me to show you is an example of it. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure you'd have to like deselect that group in order to tab through them.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that works actually with tab. Maybe that's the case, in which case what I just said doesn't really apply. But
no, I mean, no, that's still helpful because I could just go back to my hero, in which case like they would be deselected, and then I could cycle through.
Right. Okay. So yeah, you can do that either way. Yeah, I'm not sure, but either way, I think the thing is helpful, like you said. Do you know how to use cloning? So like the illusion selection thing.
No.
That's what I know it as. Okay, so I'm actually gonna close this. We can come back to it if we need to do some other stuff, but I want to show you because it actually matters quite a bit, in my opinion. Okay. But basically, like the idea is, instead of clicking on the individual like Naga illusions, you can just always click on the same spot. Okay. So. Okay. So my illusion hotkey is 3. So cloning is, you see these icons on the bottom? You can actually click on them, and then like you'll individually select them. And the effective thing about this is that whenever you go to click on your illusions, they will always be in the same spot. And this is similar to tab as well. Like tab is always in the same spot, so that's fine as well. But you can do the tab thing, or you can do cloning. Personally, I prefer cloning. I think like the clicking is nice for me. I don't know why. Tab is probably just fine too. Let's see the thing. Okay. Oh, okay. So yeah, I'm pressing tab right now and I'm just cycling through. So you can actually just do this. Oh wait, no you can't. What the fuck? Okay, so I can't tab through for whatever reason. Like they
That's
won't
weird.
they won't control individually. So cloning is definitely the best then.
So, wait, if you select all three of those and then you press
Mm.
like F1 or whatever and go to your main hero,
Yeah.
and now I think if you press tab, you would.
Yeah, then I can cycle to the main hero. And like I'm not controlling those as well. So yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, the way you go about this is you select your illusions, whether it's through a hotkey or just like boxing. Definitely recommend hotkeys, but yeah. Then you shift. Okay, so remember what I said about like selecting and then clicking mid or whatever. So I selected all of mine. I sent them mid, and now I'm gonna shift click one, and this will like separate it from the other two. Or it'll how do I explain this? Basically, like when I shift click it, it will continue to go mid, but the other two will get separated.
Yeah.
Right. So I click mid, shift click these two out. I'll send them bottom, and then I shift click another one and send them top. And that's like a super easy way to do this. It's not easy in the sense that like it's obvious or whatever, but it's easy in the sense that it's always the same and you can practice it. Like you can just go into a custom game and just spam this. Like, okay, send the mid, shift click one mid, then go top. And you can do this. And then like let's say I want to go bottom, I can go bottom, and I can practice the 2-2 split, for example. I can do this, like send 2 mid, shift click 1 here. Alright, so actually I just did it incorrectly, so I can try it again. So like I sent 3 mid, or sent 3 bottom rather than going here. So correct thing would be send 3 here, shift click 1, send it. Okay, I did it wrong again. But anyway, you see my point. Like the actual thing would be like shift clicking them and going to this camp rather than But yeah, anyway, like there are so many ways you can practice this, and it's always the same. Like I definitely recommend doing this actually. Like before I was like kind of iffy because I didn't know about the tap thing, but yeah, I think this is the best thing you can do.
Okay.
This is pretty helpful, I think. Just knowing that you can do this. I remember like wondering why Arteezy was able to just click on his minimap like this, and then all of his illusions would like just randomly split up and like fan out on the map in like perfect arcs. Like you just have all of this covered. Like, but really what he's doing is like he's using cloning and he's like shift queuing his illusions. So don't worry about the shift queuing thing. Yeah, just like sending them to a lane is totally fine. Also just make sure you attack move them to a lane.
Yeah.
So like they attack creeps, but yeah.
Get the additional damage.
So yeah, that's pretty big. I think that will help quite a bit. Okay, so I'm gonna open up the replay again.
Yeah, like so much of this seems like it's just tiny efficiency, like getting your radiance a minute faster, stuff like that.
Yeah, no, it definitely
It's like
matters.
a high skill cap type of hero.
Yeah, it's probably one of the highest skill caps actually. Like just because the idea of controlling creep waves is different every game, and it's so big. Like this is the reason why Burning and like Arteezy, Loda can carry games by themselves on Naga, is because like the hero just has so much power over the game once she gets a certain amount of items. And it's the reason why 5K players, for example, couldn't do the same thing, because they're not as good as those players. They don't have as much knowledge and experience. Okay, so we can continue watching, but do you have any like general questions that you want to ask about Naga, or just Dota in general?
Dota in general. Let's see. I don't know. I'm sort of curious about that Owie 2000 video that you were talking about.
Yeah.
Thing. Was that all done by him, or did he have like someone helping him pull and stack and stuff? Like, is that something you can just like replicate in a private lobby just by?
Yeah, no, definitely. I can just do it right now. Like I don't play carry, so I'm not as familiar with it, but it's really like it's quite simple once you get the idea down. Basically, you can just do it all by yourself because it involves just pushing waves and like pulling. You don't need a support to pull when it's a free lane. The thing with the Owie video is it really just applies to having a free lane, but yeah, it's so like very, very important I think to be able to do this. So
like. Actually, another question is that, like, opposite scenario, which this happens all the time in 2K, you have an insanely hard lane, and your support's just kind of, like, sitting there, seeping XP,
Mm.
Not really pulling or anything. Like, what's the play there? Do you just kind of stay in lane, get what farm you can get, and hope for the best?
Yeah, well, you can also do the pulling thing, right? Like, you can stay in lane, get what you can, and then just pull the creep waves whenever it's good to do so.
Right.
Like when you need to pull the creep wave back, or just
Right.
get some extra farm. That's fine
Is
too.
that kind of like the same thing on Dire? Like you can just go to the hard camp on Dire.
Yeah, no, you can definitely do that. Like, it's these two paths are very similar now that this camp is here.
Okay.
These things. So the idea is you just push. Then like
So it's like okay.
I'm keeping in mind like the position of this creep wave. So really, I did this a little bit fast, but it doesn't matter. Like now I can just wait for the next creep wave. Yeah, no, this is fine. So now I'm just waiting for this to get under my tower. It's at like 52 seconds. Okay. Yep. So I'm pulling. That's going to be a little late, but I can always aggro it like this.
Does this stack and pull at the same time?
It depends. In most cases, yeah. Okay, so it didn't stack here, but it's because I pulled a little bit late. But yeah, so now this is hitting. So I need to go mid, or go bottom, and clear this out. So I'm going to wait for him, do this, push this out.
Okay.
Okay, this is fine. Now I'm clearing this. I missed the troll. That's okay. A better Morphling would have been clearing this faster, so he would have been in position to get this. So now I'm just getting these. Okay, I missed the last hit. Doesn't matter. I got the XP.
Yeah.
But you see like how much gold I've gotten extra, like just from doing this. And like also it pushes the wave slightly, so like it's very good. Like I'm shit at this, like just 100%. But I get the concept, so like if I wanted to practice, I could very easily do it. I just don't play carry.
Just like every minute you get an extra 150 gold.
Even a little more, like if you go to the small camp like this. And like it's a lot of experience too, it matters quite a bit.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just waiting for the camp to respawn. It's probably better to go for the lane in this case because I couldn't make it for a pull, but it's okay. Okay, doing all this, watching this creep wave. Okay. I'm just gonna wait, pull, and get the centaurs again, and then it's like rinse repeat at this point. Like it's all very similar. Obviously, it's different when there are hero interactions, but when it's just creeps and the neutrals and you, it becomes like pretty easy. So like here, I learned from my mistake and I didn't run on here. Now I can just kill this really quick. Now I'll be in time for the centaur. So yeah, and I can push this out. Yeah, this is pretty much it. I don't have too much to say. This will also like this will help you push towers faster if you kill creeps really quickly. Or kill the neutrals, because like you'll get a double wave. Yeah. So this is another thing you can do for getting double waves, and you also get a lot of farm. So it's quite good. Like you want to do this part, but this alone will
you'd have like 3-minute boots and whatever else with.
Yeah. Like obviously this is much easier to do when I'm level like 8, whatever I started with 7. It still works to an extent with heroes that can push waves quickly. And it still works with Naga, for example.
Well, with someone like Naga, would you be starting at level 5, or would you just be doing it to a lesser extent at like earlier levels?
You could do it to a lesser extent. I mean, you can't like instantly kill the creep wave and then go to the neutrals, but you can still pull the neutrals and then kill the creep wave under your tower or something, and that's fine. You just wouldn't be power farming as much, like which is okay, right? Like if you're getting a little bit more XP and gold, why wouldn't you want to do it? Like it's still really good. But yeah, definitely like around level 5 is when it starts to get really good. For pretty much any hero, like Sven, Tiny, anyone. Okay. So that's about all I have to say about this. It does work on Dire too. Like this is where Owie did it on the Dire camp. But it's like the same thing pretty much. It's the same idea. I'm trying to think if there's anything else like related to this. Not really, I don't think. I mean, I guess like if you're a little late for this camp, you can always like pull it this way. Like the creeps will follow this way as well. That's something you can do. But yeah, that's about it for this.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, do you have any like other general questions?
I think like relating to that, say like I don't know, you're getting really good farm safe lane, and your team gets into a fight, is it worth it to like sacrifice your farm to go, like if it's really out of your way, like to TP
Hmm.
top, help your team? Like I think you made a comment about um, how in that Naga game I TP'd top to kind of stop the split push, and how like I lost a lot of time just kind of like going back to base, going back to bottom.
Hmm.
Like even if what you're doing is helping your team a lot, is it like really helping your team because you're just losing out on so much farm?
Well, it depends, right? Like the very simple way that I always like tell people to look at it as like if you're getting kills out of it and like a lot of kills, like two or more, then it's probably worth it. Especially early on. Like if you're gyrocopter and you TP top and get a double kill, then it's probably worth it. You basically have to know beforehand though whether or not you're going to get the kills. It can't just be like, oh, maybe I can do well here.
Yeah.
If it's a maybe thing, then definitely just farm. Worst case scenario, you're wrong, and then still get some farm, and it's okay.
Yeah. I
That's
think
the short answer
that's
anyway.
about it.
Okay.
So thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah, no problem.
Super
That's what I'm here
helpful.
for.
Especially like a hero like Naga. Like I wouldn't expect someone to have just like all that crazy knowledge about illusion micro and stuff. So helps a
Yeah,
lot.
no problem, dude. Yeah, I hope this is helpful again. If you have any questions, feel free to Skype me. Like, it's totally cool.
Sure.
Okay.
All right. See ya.
Thanks, dude. Good luck.
Yeah.